All right, so last week I met my goal of running at least a mile twice a week. Or actually, last week my goal was a mile and a quarter. This week on Tuesday, I ran a mile and a quarter, and then on yesterday, I ran a mile and a third. So I exceeded my goal slightly. And I also met my calisthenics goal. I did one round of the beginner full body THENX exercise. I did that on Thursday and on Saturday as well, right after my run. My exercise goal for this upcoming week is going to be the same thing, but I'm going to add another day onto it. So I'm going to add Tuesday, so my workout days will be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and my exercise will be to run a mile, and I'll make it a mile and a third each time, and to do one THENX, one round of the THENX full body exercises. So this last week, my food goal was to, what was it? It was to not eat any trashy foods in the morning. Like I can eat whatever I want after like 4 p.m. That didn't go so well because I ended up just eating shit in the evenings, which I'm not so happy about. But I also kind of just said, I'll eat, garbage in the morning. Like if there are pastries at work, I'll have a pastry at work this morning and then not later. But whenever I have pastries or shit in the morning, then I crave them throughout the rest of the day. So I ended up this last week was a complete bust. So what I want to do is I want to challenge myself this week and see how good how much I can improve with my measurements and my weight and everything, because I weighed myself yesterday and I'm 197.5, and I wasn't so happy about that because I've typically been wavering in the 180s, and I'm much higher than I thought I was, and I'm really unhappy about that. So I just ate shit in the evenings, and I want to challenge myself this week to see how much I can improve with my measurements if I don't eat any trash. So the amounts that I eat, I am not going to put a limit on yet. Next week my goal will be to put calorie restrictions on. But this week I want to see if I just don't eat garbage. So if I just don't eat any candies or sweets or pastries or, breads and butters and whatnot. If this week I just limit it to healthy foods, and I'm not going to put restrictions on how much of healthy food I can eat. The only thing is I like to fast in the mornings during the work week, so I'm just going to do that out of habit. But I just want to see how will things look if I do that? Will they improve? Will they get worse? We'll find out. So that's my goal for next week. Now we're going to take measurements for this week. I am not hopeful. I think I'm going to increase everywhere. I'm actually pretty upset about it. Yeah. So my neck measurement is 16 and a quarter. I know that's an increase. Last week my neck was Jesus Christ. It was 15.8, so 16 and a quarter. Let me just double check that. I know typically we take one measurement, but that's like a really big increase. This time it's 15.8, so I'm just going to call it 16 on the dot. So I'll call that an increase. And now my waist. Yeah, I can already feel bloated. I had cake last night, cheesecake and rice and beans and whatnot. Okay, so that looks about right. Okay, so 41 and just a hair under a half, so I'll call it like 41.4. Okay, so that's a decrease. Which is good, I guess. Just for the sake of measurements. I was going to actually make measurements yesterday because I was so bummed out about my weight, but I don't think that's a good thing to do. I was just going to try to make myself more upset. 14, 41, yeah, this one's closer to the half, so I'm just going to keep it like 41.45. Not that we'll be able to see any differences, but that's just what I'll put. And then waist, or hips, or whatever these bad boys are called. And this is just around the widest part of my thighs, toward the top, across the groin. And this is 43, between 43 and 43 and a quarter, so I'll call it like 43.1 or something. All right, I'll put the statistics, or the graphics, down later. It looks like my hip to waist ratio technically decreased, but like everything increased. Like my hips increased a lot, but my waist slightly decreased, which made it seem good. I mean, I don't know what to tell with this stuff, like what certain changes mean. I'm guessing that increases in my hips is not great. I think maybe that's from, I don't know, exercise, and in my waist, it's from food, so maybe my food decisions were better, or maybe it's the other way. Actually, the other way makes better. My food decisions were worse, so maybe my thighs are bigger, and my exercise decisions were better, so my waist is smaller. I have no idea how it works. Absolutely no fucking clue, but I'm just kind of trying to gauge something. I'm also not going to look it up because I'm lazy. But yeah, I'll put the statistic up afterward, but I mean, there is technically an improvement, and we'll just see how much of an improvement we can see next week. Thanks.